narito kayo sa The Mga Has Interviews. Abay, ang pag-uusapan natin ang masalimuot at maraming layer-layer na issue ng West Philippine Sea. Mapalad tayo ngayon na makasama si Justice Antonio Tirol Carpio, the best Supreme Court Justice we could or should have had. Magandang araw, Justice Carpio.
Magandang umaga sa lahat sa mga viewers natin.
Si Justice Carpio hindi niya itatanong, isa sa pinakabatang na-appoint sa Supreme Court by 2001 to 2019, 18 years siya po yung nagsilbi doon. Pero background, siya po yung naging editor ng The Guide doon sa Ateneo, naging managing editor ng Philippine Collegian, one of the best pens that the High Court probably had. Over 800 decisions ang kanyang nagawa at tumulong sa paglunsad ng Supreme Court e-library. Magandang araw, Justice Carpio, at pag-usapan po natin itong West Philippine Sea. Isa sa pinaka-paborito at pinaka-niyayakap niyong issue ngayon. Pakipaliwanag nga ho, ano ba yung mga usapin, layer-layer, mula doon sa fisheries, energy, defense, security, etc.?
Ang pinaka-importante ngayon sa atin ay kailangan makuha natin yung gas sa Reed Bank. Kasi yung gas natin sa Malampaya nauubos na. Siguro mga 2 taon na lang maubos na yung gas. Yung Malampaya supplies 40% of the energy of Luzon. So pag nawala yung Malampaya, mga 12 to 14 hours daily brownout tayo sa Luzon. Devastating yan sa economy natin, ano? So yun ang pinaka malaking problema natin kasi pag walang energy, hihinto lahat. Magsasara yung mga factory, yung opisina, hindi cannot maintain regular hours. Tayo, we cannot even work from home kasi walang power Wala kang Zoom, no?
Okay.
So, I think critical ito. Kasi during the time of President Duterte, dapat dinevelop na yung Reed Bank. Kasi alam naman natin maubos na yung gas ng Malampaya. Ayaw niya i-displease si President Z, ang policy niya appeasement, naisip niya hindi naman matapos na yung term ko, may gas pa, so problema na ng next president yan. So when President Bongbong took over, alam niya yan. So pumunta siya sa Beijing last January, hindi sinabi, pero ang tingin ko, ang sinabi niya kay President Z, kailangan ko na makuha yung gas sa Reed Bank. Kasi pag hindi ko makuha yan, the economy will collapse. I will be very unpopular.
Okay.
So,
okay.
para sa kanya, talagang political survival.
Okay.
Pagbalik niya dito, sinabi niya, we will conduct joint patrols with the US. That means, sinabi ni President Z, hindi pwede. Kasi bago siya umalis, tinanong ko yung mga tao sa mga kontak ko sa kabinete niya, sabi ko, anong gagawin ninyo? Kasi alam ko yun ang pinaka number one problem Well, sabi nila, kakausapin si President Z ni Presidente na kailangan na namin yung gas. Pag sinabi, if the President says no, anong gagawin ninyo? Pupunta kami sa mga Amerikano. Okay. And that's exactly what happened. That's my analysis, no? That's my assessment. So, ang pinaka-importante talaga for the survival of the nation, makuha na yung gas. Kasi pag hindi natin makuha yung gas, mag-i-import tayo ng LNG, liquefied natural gas. Napakamahal ngayon kasi Europe is buying everywhere else, hindi bumibili ng natural gas sa Russia because of the Ukraine war. Tumasa yung presyo ng LNG ngayon. Kasi yung LNG, natural gas yan. Pero to transport it, kailan i-convert mo yan to liquid, not liquefied natural gas. That requires energy to convert it to liquid. So i-store mo yan sa barko para ma-transport. Pagdating dyan dito sa Batangas, i-store mo yan underground. Pag kailangan na, i-regasify mo, you need energy again para to convert it back to gas para you can feed it sa gas-fired plant. Kasi yung gas-fired plant, natural gas, no? So, magasto talaga yung LNG.
Alright, okay. So, Justice Carpio.
Imagine, tataas yung power natin, inflationary yan. No? Ngayon, ang inflation ang taas na. hindi pa
6.1.
hindi pa na-account yung ano, yung energy cost diyan, no?
All
So
right. Okay.
talagang yan ang pinaka number one problem. Ang next problem yung of course yung mga
Fishery.
mangingisda natin kasi talagang problema according to UP West Philippine Sea accounts for mga 20 to 30% of our fish catch annually. Pag tinanggal sa atin yan, talagang tataas yung presyo ng galunggong. So pag kinuha ng China yung galunggong kasi China is the biggest fishing fleet in the world, no? So pag si Duterte pinayagan niya mangisda sa West Philippine Sea yung China
Okay.
with the biggest fishing fleet, kaya nga bumagsak yung fish catch ng mga mangingisda natin, umangal sila. Ang ginawa naman ng administration Duterte, nag-import ng galunggong from China. Yung galunggong na kinuha ng China sa West Philippine Sea, binibili
Balik
natin.
sa atin.
Atin
All
yun
right.
eh.
Okay. All
So,
right. So Justice
talagang
Carpio.
double bukol tayo. So, yung problema dyan sa fishing, dapat niyan, we go back to the arbitral tribunal and demand damages now from China. Kasi,
All right. Okay.
i-quantify natin na tutulungan tayo ng UP Marine Science Institute kung magkano yung nawawala sa mga isda natin, and we demand damages. Of course,
Okay.
I think China will not also participate, no, kasi policy nila hindi sila pa mag-participate. So ang mangyari niyan, we will win again, no, and magkakaroon tayo ng award. Let's say nag-award ng mga $100 million. Anong gagawin natin sa $100 million? Ayaw naman magbayad China. We will offset that against the loan. Kasi may utang tayo sa China, sa Kaliwa Dam, sa Chico Dam. I-offset natin. So we have a way of getting paid for the damages, no. So
Okay.
that's my analysis now, no.
Correct. At malinaw po na talagang sa mga usapin naman, mga nag-research dyan sa issue na yan, energy at fisheries yung pinaka most important stakes ng Pilipinas dito sa issue na to. Pero ang imahe na lumalabas, yung pangbubuli ng China sa ating Coast Guard, yung pagtigil nila sa supplies mission doon sa Panatag Shoal. Ano ho yung pwedeng gawin? Kasi parang tila lumalabas na for the here and now, defense or security issue, away-away sa dagat.
Well, yung ano na yan, ang solution dyan, we have to have a joint patrol, no?
Okay.
Kasi to go to Reed Bank to get the gas, itataboy na naman yung ating survey ship ng China, ng Chinese Coast Guard, itataboy yung ating mga survey ship. Kailangan kasama yung Navy natin together with the joint patrol with the US, no? And ganyan ang solusyon ng Malaysia. Yung kailangan na kasi ng Malaysia mag-develop ng new oil and gas field, talagang under pressure sila kasi yung ekonomiya nila depends on oil and gas exports, no?
Okay.
So they develop new gas fields. Sabi ng China, hindi pwede kasi that's within the 9-dash line. Tinuloy ng Malaysia, pinadala nila yung kanilang survey and drilling ship together with their Navy. At the same time, yung US at saka Australian warships nag-conduct ng naval drills in the same area. Walang magawa yung Chinese Coast Guard, natapos ng Malaysia. So Malaysia was able to succeed, no? Successfully surveyed and drilled. Ganyan din nangyari sa Indonesia. Indonesia, sabi ng Indonesia, papadala na namin yung survey ship namin, drilling ship sa Natuna. Sabi ng China, hindi pwede. That's within the 9-dash line. Tinuloy pa rin ng Indonesia, pinadala yung kanilang survey ship and drilling ship kasama ng kanilang Navy. At the same time, yung US aircraft carrier dumaan. Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier. Walang magawa yung Chinese Coast Guard. So, meron ng template, no, how to successfully survey and drill, and that's why si Presidente pagbalik niya sinabi niya agad we will have joint patrols. Yun yung meaning niyan.
Okay, all right.
Yun yung
Ibig
meaning niyan
sabihin
kasi talagang magiging popular siya pag hindi niya makuha yung gas. Talagang babagsak sila, no?
All
Kasi
right. Okay.
you can just imagine the inflation. So ang gagawin natin talagang joint patrol. Kung gusto natin i-resupply yung Ayungin Shoal, yung BRP Sierra Madre, well, pwede rin mag-joint patrol dyan. Open naman ang US, no? Kasi
Mhm.
ano yan exclusive economic zone yung Ayungin Shoal that sabi ng tribunal, that's exclusive economic zone. So pwede daw dumaan dyan ng foreign warships kasi there's freedom of navigation sa exclusive
Okay,
economic
alright.
zone.
Ibig sabihin, alright. Kahit na pumalag ang China, lilinaw po natin, yung Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, claimant countries din po, katulad ng Pilipinas. But they did what they wanted to do na medyo may tapang, may desisyon. Ang Pilipinas, saan ho nagkulang? Bakit parang tila tayo'y naiisahan?
Well, during the time of President Duterte, sabi niya, I love President Z.
Mhm.
Hindi niya siyempre in love siya kay President Z So I
Mhm.
didn't want to displease. Sabi niya, hindi ko naman problema yan. Matatapos na yung termino ko eh.
Mhm.
So ngayon,
Mhm.
ang problema na bumagsak kay President Bongbong Marcos,
Yes.
no?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
matagal pa matapos yung term niya, talagang tatamaan siya. That's the reason why I think there is this pivot to the US, no? Kasi
Okay.
wala kang talagang pipigain tayo ng China.
Mhm.
Kukunin talaga
Mhm.
yung gas eh. Kasi si
Mhm.
President Z, he rose to power. Ang claim to fame niya na napa-expand niya yung territory ng China sa South China Sea. Yun ang sabi niya sa People's Congress. I'm
All right.
I'm the I'm the author of the Chinese expansion sa South China Sea. So hindi siya pwede umatras diyan eh.
Mhm, mhm. Pero sa ngayon po, Justice Carpio, ang ating problema parang yung pivot sa China under President Duterte, ngayon parang pivot to the US under President Bongbong Marcos. Pero recently, abay pumunta sa China at nakipag-meeting kay Xi Jinping, si President Duterte. On the other hand, itong diplomatic initiatives natin, parang talagang welcome everyone who can help us patrol the West Philippine Sea. So paano ho yun? Meron ho bang play of mirrors dito? Si Duterte pa rin ang in love kay Xi Jinping and
Well,
vice
si
versa
President
at tayo
Duterte
parang
nagpapagamit pa rin,
nagpipikot-pikot.
no? Si President Duterte
Mhm.
nagpapagamit sa China. Talagang ewan ko kung bakit nagpapagamit siya sa China. Sabi niya kasi when he was president, sabi niya, hindi ako takot because I will be protected by China. Yung sinabi
Okay.
niya yun eh. So
Mhm.
talagang ayaw ko bakit may utang loob siya kay President Xi Jinping, no? But that's a fact. And thankfully, he's not in power anymore. He's not the president. So mas rational na ngayon ang ating foreign policy. We are thinking of national interest now. Our national interest is really to get the gas in
All
Ridbang.
right.
Kasi
Mhm.
talagang our economy will suffer a terrible blow pag hindi natin makuha yung gas. Inflation
Mhm.
will be so high. Tataas yung
Mhm.
mga food prices, yung bigas na yan, tataas yan. Lahat yan. Kasi
Mhm.
energy din yan eh. Kailangan ng energy,
Mhm.
transportation, you need energy.
Si President Duterte at saka si President Bongbong Marcos parehong napangakuan ng hundreds of millions of dollars in investments, project loans, grants and aid. Paano ho yun? Parang tipong ito yung sweeteners, yung soft power initiative ng China. How could you say no to big amounts of money?
Well, we should learn the lesson. Sinabi ng China, we have 25 billion for President Duterte loans and investments. Walang dumating less than 5% eh. Linoko
Okay.
lang siya. In the meantime, pinayagan niyo yung China to fish sa West Philippine Sea. Wala namang nakuha siya eh.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
pangluloko lang yun. Kaya hirap
Mhm.
ngayon ng China because they have unemployment. Ang taas ng unemployment ngayon. Bagsak ang export nila. Yung kanilang yung Belt and Road Initiative nila, ang daming bangkarote ng mga borrowers nila along the way, no? So,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
doubt if they will ever give us anything.
Mhm.
Magpurmesa sila kasi promise is cheap. But to deliver the
Mhm.
loan, mabigat yun.
Yeah. Ngayon, payag ho ba kayo kasi alam ko may pending case dun sa joint exploration sa Reedbank at saka itong parang medyo pinayagan ni Duterte pero ngayon kini-question. Ano ho yung status doon at ano yung opinion nyo doon? Dapat ba
Well,
mag-joint exploration with China?
may decision na ang Supreme Court. Sinabi ng Supreme Court yung JMSU unconstitutional kasi exclusive economic zone natin yan eh. Sabi ng Sabliang Batas, it is the use and enjoyment of our exclusive economic zone is reserved exclusively for Filipino citizens.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Hindi, pag joint, ang pwede riyan, katulad ngayon sa Reed Bank, sa Balampaya, pwede sila maging contractor. Kaya pumayag ako sa MOU na pwede pumasok ang China, parang Shell, parang Chevron, contractor lang. Pag contractor sila, ano lang natin, binayaran lang natin sila to render services, to get the gas, and we will pay them in kind. Bigyan natin ng, let's say, 20% of the gas to pay for their services. Pero ano lang sila, service contractor lang. Kaya service contract. Sabi ko service contract pwede. Kasi in every service contract, the first whereas clause nakalagay doon, whereas the oil and gas belong to the Philippines.
All right.
Yung after we signed the MOU at saka terms of reference, sabi ng China, hintay muna, pwede ba tanggalin yung phrase na yan, whereas the oil and gas belong to the Philippines? Of course, hindi natin pwede matanggal. Sabi, requirement yan ng Constitution eh. At saka pag tinanggal mo yan, parang binaliktad mo yung arbitral award. So it broke down because of that. Tsaka in every service contract nakalagay, the Philippine law will govern the contract. Ayaw ng China yon. So ang sabi ng China, tanggalin yung dalawang provision that the oil and gas belong to the Philippines and Philippine law will govern. Gusto nila tanggalin. Sabi ni Secretary Ted Boy Locsin, unconstitutional na yan. So tinerminate niya. Tama yon. I agree with what he did. No?
All right. Ngayon, ang atin hong problema ngayon parang tipong ayaw tuminag ng China. Medyo astig ang posisyon na tinitake po niya, at saka in the meantime yung ating pong mga joint military drills with the US, Australia, Japan parang tila lalong nabibwisit ang China. Ano ho yung sense nyo dito? Meron bang parang tipong shadow play sa West Philippine Sea? Pwede ba itong maging regional security problem?
Well, Malu, ang pinaka-importante diyan kasi exclusive economic zone, no? Ang pinaka-important niyan, makuha natin yung economic benefit. Pag makuha natin yung gas, kahit na China will not recognize the arbitral award, kahit na sabihin ng China, amin yan, basta tayong nakakakuha ng gas, panalo tayo. And that is the situation of Malaysia. Malaysia, kahit na hindi nire-recognize ng China na kanila yung area na yon, pero sila nakakuha ng gas, so quiet na lang sila. Ganyan din sa Indonesia. So the bottom line is, pag nakuha natin yung gas sa Reed Bank, kahit na sabihin ng China, illegal yan, unlawful yan, basta sa atin yung gas, okay lang yan. Kasi yun ang bottom line eh. Kasi exclusive economic zone. As long as we get the exclusive, the economic benefit exclusively, panalo tayo. Kahit we don't need the consent of China to get the gas. Kahit na pinagbawal ng China, pag nakuha natin, panalo tayo. So ganyan ang posisyon ng Malaysia. So dapat we should not beg na pumayag ang China kasi we have a right to get the gas. Ang posisyon ng Malaysia, nakuha na namin, bahala na ng China kung hindi sang-ayon ng China, basta nakukuha namin yung gas. Ganyan din ang Indonesia. Dapat ganyan ang posisyon natin.
Alright. Pero sa ngayon ho ba, ilinaw lang ho natin, meron ng lagpas 100 note verbal, diplomatic protest at kung ano-anong summoning to Malacanang ang ambassador ng China. Ano ho yung posibleng mangyari? Pwede ba itong mag-escalate other than issuing note verbals o protest, diplomatic protest? Ang sinasabi ni Duterte, kaya ba ninyo kung girahin tayo ng China? Should it escalate to that level? Dapat bang mangamba yung mga mamamayang nandoon nakatira, nakapalibot sa West Philippine Sea?
Well, we should always be careful. Pero ang template nga, tignan mo ang ginawa ng Malaysia. Wala namang nagawa ang China eh. Sabi ng China, gagirahin kayo namin pagkunin ninyo. Ginawa pa rin ng Malaysia. Wala naman nangyari. Ganyan din nangyari sa Indonesia. Sabi ng China, there will be war. Wala rin nangyari eh. Yung bully, pag natakot ka, talo ka. Yung Malaysia at China, hindi sila nagpabuli.
Pero ngayon ho, ang parang pinag-uusapan lakasan natin yung ating capability. Ano po? Coast Guard,
dapat
Navy,
naman.
para protektahan. All right.
Yeah, dapat naman kasi the first obligation of a state, duty of a state is to maintain a credible self-defense. Ganyan ang ginagawa ng Indonesia at saka Malaysia. Dapat we should have a credible self-defense kasi that's the first duty of a state. Kasi katulad, we have a mutual defense treaty with the US. Pero paano magaganahan ng US tulungan tayo pag we don't help ourselves?
Okay.
Kasi
Mhm.
partnership kayo, dapat you carry your own weight, no? Kailangan you should also develop your self-defense. Kasi alay kayo eh. Pag yung alay mo, walang ginagawa, hindi gumagastos sa self-defense, nagdidepende lang sa iyo, hindi naman maganda yan.
Pero sa ngayon ho, dahil kahit na ilipat yung confidential funds ng Office of the Vice President o DepEd at saka Department of Agriculture sa West Philippine Sea Defense, ilang taon po kaya tatagal ito? Yung development process, yung modernization ng Coast Guard, Navy capability natin or even Air Force. Parang
Well,
tila tatagal.
meron tayong program yan, tinatawag nila Horizons eh. So, on track naman tayo, a little bit delayed lang siguro, pero we have already acquired 2 frigates from South Korea. We have acquired 12 FA-50s fighter jets from Korea. We have acquired already BrahMos anti-ship missiles from India. So tuloy-tuloy naman ito. We're ordering offshore patrol boats again from South Korea. So okay lang kasi as long as we keep on improving, okay yan. Kasi hindi naman natin kaya biglaan eh. And
Alright.
naiintindihan naman ng US yan. So pag gusto nila, we have a program. Nakikita nila na talagang we are serious about credible self-defense. Dapat ganyan talaga.
Alright. At Justice Carpio, may nakikita ba kayo na parang tipong Hermano Mayor, person in command o agency in command? Kasi parang ang daming parties from the government side na nakatutok sa usapin na to. What do you think should happen? Meron ba dapat parang tipong joint task force o yung sinasabing whole of nation approach? You see that happening with different initiatives ng DFA, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Coast Guard, the Congress, and parang tipong, and of course yung academe. Meron ho bang parang pagkakaisa? May unity ba itong mga initiatives na to? At kailangan bang parang i-tighten ang coordination?
Well, andyan naman yung National Security Council to coordinate everything. It's under the office of the President naman yan. They coordinate naman. I can see coordination naman sa National Security Council. There's also the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea.
And then, what should we do with the China's incursions, yung bullying sa dagat ng ating mga mangingisda?
Well, ang ano dyan, joint patrol with the US and madami namang sumasama sa ating joint patrol, no? Japan, Australia, and I think Canada is there, no? And nag-express interest surprisingly ang Indonesia to have joint patrol, no? And dapat yan Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines and Indonesia magkaroon ng joint patrol in each other's exclusive economic zone, no? Kailangan yan. I think yun dapat ang target natin. Kasi alam mo, we cannot also in the future baka magbago yung administration sa US, maging isolationist sila, baka hindi na sila, they will lose interest in the South China Sea, no? Right now, let's just imagine today, aalis yung US South China Sea, they will not patrol. Walang freedom of navigation operations. Ang US, UK, France, aalis sila. Immediately, China will take over. Yung 9 10 line na yan, yun ang boundary. That it becomes the national boundary. So, we should plan for that day because that's possible. Kaya dapat we have a credible self-defense. We will have joint patrols with Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. Kasi there may be a day in the future, no, we don't know. I hope it will not happen that the US will say, pagod na kami dito. Or bahala ng China dito.
Okay. Now you talked
So
about
we
the
have to
US.
prepare for that day, no? Right now, we rely on the alliance, but at the end of the day, we should be prepared to defend ourselves. You know what happens in Ukraine. When the USSR collapsed, Ukraine inherited 1/3 of the nuclear arms of the USSR. It was a nuclear power. Kinausap ng Russia, kinausap ng UK at saka US ang Ukraine. You don't need those nuclear arms. You give those nuclear arms, give up mo yan, but we guarantee your territorial integrity. We guarantee your your independence. So naniwala naman ang Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons. And then pumirma ng Budapest Memorandum ang Russia, UK, and US guaranteeing the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. A few years later, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Correct.
So, I mean, you have to you cannot rely on forever on the guarantees of other nations, no? You must develop your self-defense. You must have a credible self-defense. Yun ang dapat that should be embedded in our minds.
All right.
Alliances are good kasi that improves your defense, but you must have a credible self-defense on your own.
Pero Justice Carpio, I know that you're so hands-on, ano? Mas kabisado nyo pa yata yung mga detalye ng nagaganap sa West Philippine Sea kaysa sa any other Philippine official or cabinet member. Pero alam nyo rin na in the next few weeks, bibisita si Xi Jinping sa US at makikipag-meeting kay President Biden. Ang mga pahiwatig niya bago umalis, US and China, no reason actually to be in conflict, but every reason to be united. The world needs China and the US working together. So yung mga promesang yon, hindi ba kayo nag-aalala na baka mamaya merong maging BFF, China at US?
Yun yung sabi ko there might come a time that the US will say, sa China na yan. Kasi nag-offer nga si President Xi Jinping noon sa US The Asia Pacific is big enough for both of us. Hatiin na lang natin. Inoffer nila kay President Obama noon, no? Tsaka kay President Trump. Of course, they did not agree. But who knows, the next president might agree. So we have to bear that in mind. That ultimately, to remain independent as a sovereign nation, we have to rely on ourselves. It's good to have allies. And we should have allies. But pag hindi tayo prepared on our own, mawawala rin yung independence natin.
Alright. Mukhang talagang dapat bantayan yung next events na mangyayari sa Washington. Ngayon, ang tanong ko lang sa inyo, para dun sa mga mamamayan, paano nila dapat isipin ang lugar nila, ang tungkulin nila, at ang pwede nilang gawin kaugnay dito sa West Philippine Sea? Kasi parang tipo it's a bit distant, dun sa mga taong hindi naman mangingisda o hindi involved sa energy sector issues. Paano nyo ipapalinaw sa lahat ng mamamayan? Mahalaga ang usaping ito, may tungkulin tayo at pwedeng gawing pananagutan.
Well, araw-araw, yung galunggong, mahal na. Yung naging presidente si President Duterte, compared to the time he entered office to the time he left, nagdoble yung presyo ng galunggong. Why? Kasi inubos ng China ang galunggong sa West Philippine Sea. So importante, we should protect our maritime zone, your fisheries in the West Philippine Sea. Now, tataas yung ating power rates every day. Yung binabayad mo na Meralco bill, tataas yan because nauubos na yung gas sa Malampaya. Pag hindi natin makuha yung gas sa Reed Bank, tataas talaga yan. So it really affects us. Talagang gut issue ito.
So lahat ay apektado. Now, what do you want to see happen? Faster, better, more confident position from the President and the Philippine government? Ano yung pwede pa nilang gawin? Higitan pa yung ginagawa ngayon.
Well, the most important thing before the end of the year, dapat mag-survey na tayo sa Reed Bank.
Okay.
Kasi yun talaga, pag hindi tayo nag-survey, it takes 4 years to develop at the minimum, 4 years to develop the gas field. Tsaka we have to connect the pipeline from Reed Bank to Malampaya para we can use the existing pipeline to Batangas. So it will take a minimum of 4 years. So talagang tatamaan tayo. So dapat that should be priority.
What do you see could happen at the end of 4 years? Parang, are we developing a story that would be more joyful or happier for the Philippines, or medyo magiging malungkot sa dulo dahil ngayon po 2023, magkaka-eleksyon 2025, ulit eleksyon sa 2028. Pag nagbago po ng Pangulo, yung pivot, repivot, etc., posible ho bang maapektuhan? How do you see, how would you write this story? Kasi kayo po, you're very elegant and sharp pen. What do you see will happen?
Well, I hope that by the end of the year, we should have nag-drill na tayo, nag-survey na tayo sa Reed Bank. Kasi pag hindi natin ginawa yan, talagang mag-i-import na tayo ng LNG. That means hindi natin makukuha yon. We have to do that. That means pag hindi natin nagawa ngayong taon yan, that means walang political will.
Mhm, mhm. And you think this government, this administration will have the political will to really push our claim over natural gas in the Reed Bank?
Well, so far they have been saying the right thing. No? This administration has been saying the right thing and planning the right thing. Whether they can actually pull it off, we'll just have to wait and watch.
Mhm. But do you see things happening apart from the optics and the press releases and the public statements? Do you see things moving? Is the needle moving at all pagdating sa
Yes,
mga
the planning is there. The planning is
Mhm.
there. So yung implementation na lang.
Ngayon parang tipong ang dami ding mga exchange programs. So they're actually courting a lot of our students, academe, and the business sector for joint exchange programs.
Yeah, of course, that's part of their charm offensive, no? At saka dapat hindi tayo maluloko dyan, no? Kasi katulad niyan, UP, nagkaroon ng Confucius Institute. At Ateneo, nagkaroon ng Confucius Institute. Pero one way, hindi tayo makatayo ng Rizal Institute sa China. Dapat yan reciprocal. Bakit tayo nagpapaloko? Bakit sila lang makatayo dito ng Confucius Institute para to distribute their propaganda? Tayo hindi. We cannot tell our story in China. So dapat yan reciprocal palagi. We should put that in our mind. Reciprocal palagi.
Pero sa across Southeast Asia, yun yung sinasabi yung Confucius Institutes, ano? Parang ito yung charm patrol ng China. They're mushrooming all over the place. Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines, of course, is starting. Pero merong Association for Philippines-China Understanding na ang chairperson ho from the beginning of time is si President Gloria Arroyo.
Yung mga pro-China sa atin, kilala na natin yan. But they're very small minority. No, you can see sa surveys, 90% of the Filipino want the ruling asserted. No, klaro naman atin yun eh. I mean, ano klaseng Filipino ka kung papayag ka na kukunin ng China yung ating West Philippine Sea? Ang dagat yaman nandyan eh. No, very rich in fish, oil and gas and other resources yan. Bakit natin pamimigay sa China? Tayo naghihirap nga, kulang nga sa atin. So, pag minamahal mo yung Pilipinas, hindi mo ibibigay yung ating resources sa China.
Ilinaw lang din po natin, meron ho tayong significant Filipino-Chinese diaspora, Chinese-Filipino diaspora. At sila po yung naging very positive force sa ekonomiya, sa negosyo, sa kultura, at even sa paglaban sa mga colonizers over the decades. Pero ang atin tinututukan dito ng puna ay sino? Yung Chinese government ba o Chinese in general? Para lang maging malinaw.
Well, Chinese government ang kalaban natin kasi sila naman. I'm not even saying that kalaban natin yung Chinese people sa mainland. It's really the Communist Party.
Sa huli, matanong ko lang po, bakit ho ba niyakap ninyo itong issue na to? Kasi you're one of the actually best sources, most informed sources. Pag pinag-usapan ng West Philippine Sea, you've even acquired the parang historical maps na naglilinaw before the 9-dash line. Ano po ba yung issue dito? Bakit ho parang ito yung natutukan ninyo at ngayon parang your cause celeb, ika nga?
If you recall, during the term of President Duterte, President Ramos, I was the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel. Doon yung nangyari. That year, 1995, China seized Mischief Reef. No? So that was during the time of President Ramos. Ako yung Chief Presidential Legal Counsel. So pinag-isipan namin how to stop China. Atin yun eh. Mischief Reef, part of our EEZ. Kaya lang, at that time, China did not ratify UNCLOS pa, 1995. 1996 sila nag-ratify eh. So, we could not sue China. So, naisip ko, here is a country more powerful than us, inaapak-apakan lang tayo. Wala tayong kalaban-laban. there is a law, UN convention, hindi natin magagamit kasi hindi pa nila na-ratify yung UNCLOS. So it bothered me that ganito na lang ba yan? So I had to think of ways to how really to strengthen our defenses legally, no? So yun that started it.
At hanggang ngayon, parang nandyan, nakatutok pa rin kayo. Kayo ho ba'y mas masaya ngayon sa mga recent developments? Mas hopeful?
Yeah, I'm happily surprised that pleasantly surprised na si President Marcos Jr. made a turnaround, no? Kasi during the campaign mukhang pro-China siya.
Mhm.
But of course, that's why sinabi ko nga, his political survival is at stake kasi magiging unpopular siya pag hindi niya makuha yung gas. Ang humihinto sa kanya, China. He had to look for another ally to help him, no?
Mhm.
So that's the politics of it. But for me, I'm happy that that's the way it is now. He saw the light, no? China is that greedy actually. I mean the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, si President Xi Jinping, talagang gusto niya sarili niya, sa kanya lang.
At sa huli, ano yung pwede nating parang points for improvement? Saan tayo may positive, saan may negative issues pa na dapat tutukan?
Well, kailangan, first of all, education. No? Dapat we have to educate our people on the issues sa West Philippine Sea. Kasi ang propaganda ng China andyan, may mga Pilipino, small group naman, who are speaking for China and spreading Chinese propaganda. So dapat, our curriculum should state already the facts of the West Philippine Sea. Ano ba talaga? Bakit sa atin why do we say yung Kalayaan Island Group sa atin yan? Why do we say that yung Scarborough sa atin? Dapat klaro yan sa Filipino people. No? Turuan natin from grade school to college para we are united as a nation. Kasi pag watak-watak tayo, talo tayo. Paglalaruan lang tayo ng China.
So dapat talaga all hands on deck. Ano po? Pikon talo. Dapat talaga maghanda. Lahat. Ano po? Justice Carpio.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. Maraming salamat po sa paglilinaw at talagang tutukan pa rin natin hanggang sa huli na tayo'y magwagi. Maraming salamat, Justice Antonio Tirol Carpio, the expert on the West Philippine Sea and what we should do as a nation. Magandang araw, sir. Keep safe.
Thank you, Malu. Thank you to our viewers.